How digital measurement works. So modern marketing measurement doesn't fail because there's a lack of data. It fails because the systems used to interpret that data are fragmented, static, and difficult to trust. At Funnel, we take a different approach. We call it Agentic Measurement. It's a system that continuously evaluates, calibrates, and updates models as new data becomes available. So rather than relying on a single model, this approach brings together multiple measurement methods and reconciles them into a calibrated view of performance. The result is a measurement system that is statistically grounded, informed by real customer behavior, and continuously recalibrated. It's designed to estimate incremental impact and help replace fragmented reporting with a clearer and more defensible understanding of what is actually driving growth. This approach is built on triangulation, combining econometric modeling, attribution, and platform signals into a unified system. So in practice, this framework is applied in different ways, depending on the business context. And this video focuses specifically on digital measurement, designed for digital-first advertisers, operating primarily in online channels, and particularly where user-level data is available and large-scale experimentation or offline measurement is not yet required. Why traditional approaches fall short? So depending on the source, anywhere from 45 to over 78% of marketers still use last-click attribution as a primary method for evaluating their marketing mix. And the consensus is clear. In a recent survey, 75% of marketers said they are moving away from last click. And with the majority of the marketing industry eager to abandon last click attribution, the traditional alternatives have proven insufficient. The multi-touch attribution, MTA, including data-driven models, is increasingly limited when used in isolation due to the privacy restrictions like ATT, ITP, and GDPR that severely limits user-level tracking. And marketers recognize that simply swapping one flow click-based metric, like the last click, for another seemingly more sophisticated, such as the position-based or data-driven, fails to capture the full value of the upper funnel channels. Even if you use more advanced click-based attribution, such as the GA's data-driven attribution, you can't measure the upper funnel activities, the awareness and brand campaigns, and you can't measure incrementality. That's why triangulation is key. Not as another model, but as a system for reconciling different sources of measurement. So triangulation is a measurement framework that brings together the granular insights of data-driven multi-touch attribution with the broader incremental perspective of digital marketing mix modeling, MMM, and ad platform data. And by merging these distinct methodologies, it mitigates the weaknesses of each individual model while synergistically leveraging their strengths. This enables both strategic longer-term media planning and day-to-day campaign optimization based on calibrated and true marketing effect. Funnel automates this traditionally complex process through agentic triangulation, which uses generative AI to autonomously handle model calibration and training. This approach effectively eliminates the need for expensive data science consultants, while improving how both upper funnel and direct response marketing are valued. Marketing mix modeling. Funnel's digital MMM uses high-level aggregate time series data to provide a big picture view of marketing effectiveness. So it analyzes the historical relationship between media spend and outcomes over time, such as conversions or revenue. And from this, the model can separate the impact of marketing from what would have happened anyway. So at a high level, it explains conversions as a combination of baseline demand and marketing impact, while accounting for carryover effects over time and diminishing returns as the ad spend increases. To do this, the model breaks performance down into a few key components. First, it estimates the baseline. That's the level of sales that would have happened anyway, even without marketing. This includes factors like brand strength, seasonality, and broader market trends. Then it accounts for carryover effects. So marketing doesn't always drive an immediate sale. An ad seen today might still influence someone days later, and the model captures how that impact decays over time. Finally, it models diminishing returns. As ad spend increases, each additional dollar typically generates less incremental impact. This helps identify where channels start to saturate and where marginal returns begin to decline. Funnels MTA in practice. Funnels MTA analyzes raw user-level journeys using a sequence-based model. Instead of assigning fixed credit rules, such as last click or position-based weighting, it learns from historical journeys to estimate the likelihood of conversions based on the sequence of interactions. And by understanding how each touchpoint changes the likelihood of a conversion, the model estimates the relative contribution of campaigns and channels. Because it evaluates full sequences rather than isolated clicks, it captures interaction effects and the order in which touchpoints occur. So in short, it learns from real customer journeys to estimate which interactions genuinely influence conversions, rather than assigning credit based on predefined rules. Triangulation and model calibration. Triangulation is considered the gold standard because it doesn't rely on a single method. Instead, it combines different approaches and allows them to inform and correct each other. In digital measurement, we do this through a combination of informed starting assumptions and structured model evaluation. First, we use what we call Bayesian priors. In simple terms, these are informed starting points for the model. So rather than learning everything from scratch, the model begins with signals from attribution and platform data, and these act as reference points that guide the model toward realistic outcomes. For example, in upper funnel activities like the meta prospecting, attribution models tend to underestimate impact, while the platform reported performance tends to overestimate it. So instead of taking either at face values, we use them to define a reasonable range of performance. The model then learns within that range, refining its estimates based on historical data. This helps stabilize the model and avoids unrealistic results. And once we've set those initial assumptions, the next step is to refine the model. Instead of building just one version, we evaluate multiple model configurations, each with slightly different assumptions about how marketing works, such as how long effects last or how quickly channels saturate. And we then score each model along two key dimensions. So first, how well it fits the historical data, and second, how well it aligns with other measurement signals, such as attribution at the campaign level. Only the models that perform well on both are retained. And this process is what we refer to as multi-objective model optimization, balancing statistical accuracy with real-world consistency. And from there, MTA provides the next level of detail. So while MMM operates at the channel level, MTA works at the campaign and tactic level. It used to distribute the model contribution from MMM down to the specific campaigns and touchpoints that drive performance. And this allows teams to connect high-level impact with day-to-day optimization, a measurement framework that you can trust. Digital measurement through triangulation doesn't rely on a single source of truth. Instead, it builds a system where different signals are continuously evaluated and calibrated against each other, balancing statistical accuracy with real-world consistency. The goal isn't perfect precision. It's a measurement framework that you can trust. One that helps you understand what is truly driving incremental impact, align performance across channels, and make decisions with greater confidence. This is not about replacing one model with another. It's about building a system that you can rely on.